Hi, it's Al, the Spiritual Atheist. This video is going to be mostly a response to Acyberguy, but I want to start off talking about me. uh, I've had a very interesting weekend. If you may have read on a comment, my computer decided to die, and so I took it to, well, the hard drive apparently crashed or something. I took it to my repairman, and we were basically set up to where I'd buy a used laptop to replace the dead and gone computer, which was going to cost me money that I can't afford. I'm on a fixed income, and there there is a bit of cushion, but not all that much, and you don't like spending money that you don't have to. I suppose even if you could afford it, you don't like spending money that you don't have to. So anyhow, uh, that was the situation I was in, but it got worse. Then my television service kicked up, and I'm no TV. They have to send me a replacement. Remote actually is what screwed it up, but it can't be operated without the remote. So I've been without TV. And then yesterday my iPad decided to screw itself up, and it took me hours. I finally got that fixed. Still haven't got the TV back. The computer, a miracle occurred, and it was suddenly healed. The repairman called and said he didn't know why, but it's working. So I rushed to gut it back and paid him for his time, and and here I am. And during the weekend, I came to I was thinking how quickly and how deeply luxuries become necessities. Wow. I mean, I was raised in the age of rotary telephones, and that was it. And being stuck back in that time, like no television, telephone, and for a while no net contact at all, put me back in those days, and it was very uncomfortable. But it wasn't very uncomfortable when I was living them. It was, things have become necessary to my well-being that weren't necessary before. And that seems to be the nature of luxuries, that they become more affordable and get more necessary to us, I guess. So, Acyberguy. I'm going to call you Guy, if you don't mind, when I address you. It's just the first name. I don't have one to work with, so, it works. And you told us about your Christian life, Guy. I guess, tell you about my spiritual life very quickly. When I was raised, obviously, a Christian. And at a very young age, I realized that there were things I shouldn't question. And I can remember once and this is an absolutely true story, and I don't tell many so-called mystical stories about myself, but I think this one is okay. And what happened is that my minister, who was a lovely man, gave me a ride home from some youth thing that I was doing, like I was 7. And we were talking as we were driving home about God. And he was describing how God is, and what he had forgotten is that all children are mystics. And I was looking, and I said, why can't it be like this? And he said, well, that's what the Buddhists believe, but we Christians believe this. And I knew at that moment, because I was looking at it, that, okay, whatever Buddhists are, that's what I am, and I shouldn't tell anybody. And so I kept that a secret until, God, in my 20s. And then I became a Buddhist. and remained a Buddhist for until my God, I guess my middle 60s. When I was about your age, I was still young, inexperienced. And I came to find that there were some Buddhist doctrines that I just couldn't accept any longer. One of them was the concept of rebirth, and the other was the concept of karma. And also I was finding more and more that I was less and less impressed with American Buddhism itself, and, on a moral and mostly on a moral structure. Incidentally, over the last few weeks, I have come to realize that I was in error about rebirth, and I now accept the concept of rebirth. And after this weekend's uprising with my computers and stuff, I probably should accept karma too, but I'm still not convinced. So being what I am now is just a seeker, just somebody who's values rationality, I think, above all. I don't fit well into groups. I don't play well with others. So, I'm basically a hermit. And I mean that quite literally. My wife and I will go days without seeing another living person, and we mostly only leave the house to get food or attend to medical needs. And we're happy. That's not a sad statement. Please don't feel sorry for us. We work very hard to get where we are. And that's, living the life that basically we would like to live. And God, living in Maine, how could it be better? You did a couple of Bible quotes. Now, I have to admit, uphand, I don't know the Bible. I have never read it. I kind of decided when I was rather young that I really wasn't interested in vicarious redemption and that sort of thing. And so, I tell my friends when they are rather shocked that I'm so uneducated when it comes to the Christian Bible. And I say, well, I don't have a great interest in the product, so why read the sales brochure? Well, the answer is simple, that there's wisdom there. There is maybe something to be of value. And this is true of all teachings, that we can, look at it and pick something out. We can cherry pick. Now, we don't cherry picking is considered bad if it's used for an argument's sake to try and defeat somebody intellectually. Yes, but cherry picking is good if it's for you. If this is a gem that you can use, you found something of value that you can make use of, by all means do it. And it doesn't matter if you agree with or disagree with everything else that's there. And there are a couple of things in the Christian Bible that I would like to throw at you. I think, well, actually the first is from the Old Testament, but you gave your thing on prayer. And I will take it, I will raise you. You want a comfort and a peace that surpasses all understanding. Well, there's a better offer. I think it's in Isaiah. You have to look it up. Be still and know I am God. Now, I don't speak Hebrew, Aramaic, or anything like that, but I think that may be a slight mistranslation. I think it is, be still and realize I am God. But there it is. It's in your Bible, and I think it is a bitch. I love it. Second one, and I'm going to give, this is my question for you, I guess. I'm going to take it from the Christian point of view again. It's a statement of Jesus that I'm rather fond of. And if my quotation is incorrect, of course you'll correct me, but the meaning is there. And the statement is, before Abraham was, I am. That's my wife back there. You got to see the back of her shoulder. So, before Abraham was, I am. Kind of a question, like, when did he say that? I'm going to leave that one for you, my friend. As to your other question as to whether my spirituality is inside or outside, as you are aware, there's no universal accepted definition of what is spiritual and what isn't. I tend to take the view that it is the search for the meaning, or search for truth, or search for being, or just the search, and is in itself the expression of what I would call spirituality. It's the move to beyond verbal thought, if you want. And, you know, perhaps we should discuss that in my next video, the non-verbal and the verbal thought, because it's a very important to my particular process. But the question of whether my spirituality is external or internal presumes that I know the difference. And I have to say, I don't. I've been looking. I mean, this is serious. What I understand about the nature of perception, that is this video that you're looking at, is actually a projection of your own brain being received by your brain. That is, there's light photons coming in, hitting your eye, supposedly, right? That's the science of it, which sends off a electronic signal to your brain, which then projects an image. And this is what you see and call out there. Now, my wife, whose back you managed to glimpse, may you be blessed, is a very accomplished artist. And she taught me about negative space. That is, that in art, the negative space defines the object. And I've been applying that. I said, boy, that's a great way of looking at things, isn't it? You know, just to have a space between the observer and the observed, not only for the so-called external objects, being aware of those, but even the thought process. And I found that, yes, indeed, as I watch my thoughts unroll, there was a space between my observation of my thoughts and the creation of my thoughts. And that's kind of interesting, because then this question again, is that external or internal? It all looks external. It all looks external. That doesn't appear to be an internal. And yet, logic dictates just the opposite. Just exactly the opposite. And so I have to say, okay, we'll go with this. You know, I may create the whole universe, but boy, oh boy, I certainly can't control it. If I did, it would be different. Which I guess we can all say that. So we do have this perception of a universe outside of ourselves that we have no particular control over, and yet that perception is eternal. Internal, yeah, not well, and also eternal. I guess it doesn't really matter. Hey, thanks, guys. Guy, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to say again, I was incredibly impressed with your honesty. And as somebody who values rationality more than atheism or any otherism, it's very obvious that rational people can come to different conclusions. And that is where respect comes in, because I am fully accepting that you would not accept the existence of a deity unless you had convincing evidence, and neither would I. That's just why I don't. But they're very possible there's something in your life that was so dramatic that you said, this is acceptable evidence to me and my intelligence, and I have to respect that. Because, and you know, I have to respect that you can have experiences that I can't share, that I cannot partake in. That, you know, so your experiences, as valid as they may be, are to me not convincing, though I have to respect the fact that they're convincing to you, as is the opposite, right? Oh, well, this is bumbling. I'm going on and on. I'm going to stop. Listen, all of you guys, you know, my guys, most important thing of all, be kind to yourselves. You know, just take it easy. Don't expect too much. And then perhaps you won't be disappointed.